Welcome back to On the Movie Front. I'm Robbie E.
And I'm Mikey Shee. This is our special episode where we're going to be talking about M. Night Shyamalan.
This is going to be a two-part episode, mainly because there's 6 movies of his worth talking about. 2 we probably won't even mention because we haven't seen them and we know you haven't either. So this is part 1.
M. Night Shyamalan, does he need an introduction? Well, I'm going to try. Before we begin, I just want to say that if you haven't seen all of M. Night Shyamalan's films, you might want to reconsider watching this episode, or these 2 episodes, because there will be major spoilers revealed just to, give our points across. But, meanwhile, M. Night Shyamalan, 37 years old, he was born in India, raised in Philly, and he has been coined as, maybe the twist master. He somewhat coined himself as the next Hitchcock, though I think that's a little bit out there. But yeah, like Mike said before, he had 2 movies before The Sixth Sense that no one really even cares about. They're family movies, they're dramas, and they're not even worth watching. But that's just my opinion. You can watch them if you want.
So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go in chronological time order, as far as starting with The Sixth Sense.
Alright, so Sixth Sense, that was a 1999 film, and M. Night Shyamalan's first important film. It is by far my favorite film, and in my opinion, I think it is hands down his best film. I mean, it was a great cast, great performances. It totaled 6 Oscar nominations. It's one of the only horror films in the history of cinema to get a Best Picture nomination. And what I think is that this is the #1 movie that put M. Night Shyamalan on the map. I mean, he had a couple good movies afterwards, but it's really The Sixth Sense that got him recognized, and everyone started talking about him after The Sixth Sense. Mainly, I mean, it had one of the greatest twists in modern day history, I think.
So we ended up giving this movie an 8 for our combined rating. So that's both of our ratings averaged together already. I agree with what you said for the most part. I think I really did enjoy this movie, The Sixth Sense. It was really good, and Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osment gave incredible performances, and I've never really liked kids as actors. They just usually don't have as much, ability as someone 20 to 40, especially someone who's 40. They usually have so many more years of experience, but he really gave a very good performance in this movie. The thing is, you take away the plot twist, and for me, you don't have all that much. You still have a good movie if there's not some amazing plot twist. But I feel like it just was good. It was, it was a little bit, it was a very good movie. But it wasn't excellent, it wasn't outstanding to me. It was just good, so that's why, I feel like there could have been some better things in it. I feel like, I think it would have actually helped us if we knew the twist from the beginning. I think it would have made things a little bit more interesting and seeing like, wow, like this is what the real dead world is like.
But that's why it's so good, because even after you know the amazing twist ending that so many people didn't want to know before because everyone was like, oh, I'm going to ruin this movie for you, I'm going to tell you the twist ending. It really didn't ruin the movie. The second, the third viewing, even after you know that, the big twist ending, I guess we could say, because I said spoilers alert, right? Bruce Willis is dead, okay? Even after you know that, you can still watch it 2nd, 3rd, 15th time. It's still a good movie. And as for Haley Joel Osment, I mean, I've never seen a kid more scared in my life in a movie than he was in The Sixth Sense. I mean, I was scared for him and for myself. It was a great movie.
Let's move on to the second movie. Unbreakable, which came out in the year 2000. This, for me, is my favorite movie of M. Night Shyamalan. I just think it's so original. You have this comic book stylistic movie starring Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, and just their characters who kind of parallel each other. I mean, you have Mr. Glass, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who's just so brittle he can fall and break every bone in his body, and Bruce Willis, who's just abnormally strong, quote-unquote, unbreakable, the title of the film. And it just starts out with this incredible train crash that leads to Bruce Willis figuring out his abilities, and it just snowballs from there. The reason I like this movie so much is, A, the acting is just outstanding, but the screenplay for this movie The dialogue is written very, very well, and along with that, you have this quirky story that is so different and out there that it makes you think about like life as it is, because it's about this good versus evil, strong versus weak, but yet these quote unquote superheroes who are really not super at all. They're just everyday human people that have no superpower. So that aspect of it, I really, really like, and that's why for me this is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie.
You know, I have to agree with most of what you said. I mean, just to a degree, though, what you say is an incredible story, incredible acting. I would say it's very good acting. I'm not gonna lie, I love this film. I thought it was great. I loved this very dark comic book style look that M. Night gave it. You know, it was really cool to look at. And yeah, the first 20 minutes or so with the the train crash and everything, it was awesome. It was very like, he was very particular what he wanted to show on camera, and every single movement it seemed deliberate. The only problem with me is that this very slow pace of, you know, being very careful about what he shows on screen and what everyone does and says, it kind of, I felt, dragged throughout the entire span of the film. And even up to the ending, where it's supposed to be another big twist, this twist I didn't think worked as effectively as the Sixth Sense's twist. But I do like the movie a lot, and yeah, the performances were good. It was good.
Yeah, so overall we gave this movie a 8.5.
Highest yet.
Let's move on to our last movie of this episode.
2002, M. Night Shyamalan came out with this alien film called Signs. Well, that's what everyone would know it as, the alien film, but really it had nothing to do with aliens. It has a great cast, again, Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, the other Culkin, and Abigail Breslin as a little baby. She was adorable. And they were just this small, real family. They've gone through very traumatic experiences, and their mother passed away, and they had to deal with that. And it was all about, you know, faith and seeing signs, and is there anything as coincidences? And that was really the theme and the main story. And they just used the gimmick of aliens to provide some, you know, fear. But I loved this film. I thought M. Night Shyamalan did a very good job. The first two acts I thought were near perfect. I do have to say the third act kind of falters a little bit, but it doesn't take away from the entire film, and it was very, very solid.
I totally agree with what you said. I really enjoyed this film too, and this is close to being my favorite, but it just, like you said, like that third act, that last bit of the movie just kind of dissolves. It's just because they do such a good job with building up the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. There's all this suspense and all this tension, and you know, you don't get to even see the alien for a long time.
Right.
And even when you do, you get a little glimpse, a little, you know, a little snippet, which is, I mean, it's just stylistically a very good way of going about it in that building. And it's kind of similar to Jaws in a lot of ways, because you have this, like, you never see it, you don't really know what it is type of thing.
Right, but you know it's out
you
there,
know what,
and that's why
you know it's a shark, you know it's an alien, you know it's something, right? And you have this idea, but until you finally see it, then, you know, and then when you see this alien just standing there in the room, and
it's laughable.
Yeah, it's laughable, and that it really affects. It just kind of is like, oh, that's it. Oh, this is what they're so scared of, and it just movie goes downhill from there. We gave Signs a 7.5, and that's mainly just because of the ending. We just both felt that it really, you know, it really affected the movie, but we really liked all three of these M. Night Shyamalan
This
movies.
was the high point. This was the peak. He started out on a peak, but in our next episode, the most recent three films, you'll see a little dip in that.
Yeah, we're going to kind of dissect the downfall of M. Night Shyamalan. So join us next time. We're going to be talking about The Village, Lady in the Water, and the newest film, The Happening. All right, see you next time.